If you haven't heard already, we've been receiving a tremendous amount of inquiries about Fairhope recently. It's clear that this is a place that's piquing people's interest, so don't miss out on the chance to find out what the hype is all about in today's video of the pros and cons of living in Fairhope, Alabama.
That's right, Fairhope has been gaining popularity over the past decade and continues to draw a lot of people from all over the country. So let's talk about what it has to offer and also take a closer look to help y'all understand why some people might not be as enthusiastic about it.
What's up? I'm Tony and this is my partner Jess. We're a couple of local realtors, and if this is your first time visiting our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you tap that little bell to be notified of each and every video we dive into.
We talk about everything there is to know about living in Fairhope and the surrounding lower Alabama area. And with that said, we know you want to get right to it, so here it is. We're going to talk about the pros and the cons of moving to Fairhope, Alabama.
With us being somewhat of a young family and wanting to enjoy the water and year-round gorgeous weather, we wanted to be able to take our kids down to the beach every day. And if you're not familiar...
Wait, young? Who's young? Are you talking about the kids?
Yeah, the kids, us as parents, we're a young family.
So out of the, 10 phone calls that you got this week, you have one person who has to tell you that you look young, and now you have to throw it out there. I'm sorry everyone, but I gotta bring this guy back to reality. Otherwise it'll go straight to his head and he'll think he's 21 again.
I mean, if the shoe fits.
We are not spring chickens anymore. I'm sorry, honey.
Y'all, Jess is having a hard time right now because she had her first gray hair and she hasn't stopped talking about it since.
Oh my God.
You're old and you're getting older.
Why are you telling everybody about this?
Because it's a big deal. I mean,
I don't get regular gray hairs on the regular like you do, so I'm still in shock,
y'all,
okay?
Bless her heart. What am I gonna do with her, you know? But as I was saying, my young self and my family love the fact that Fairhope has a little beach where you can go and relax and just go to the pier. So this is a huge pro for us.
Yeah, and another big pro in my book is that the pier will soon be home to a new restaurant called the Blind Tiger, which is a Mississippi-based restaurant chain that offers some really great seafood options. This restaurant's gonna sit directly on the pier overlooking Mobile Bay, and I think it's just gonna be a really awesome addition to the Fairhope Pier.
Yeah, it was looking a little rundown and dilapidated, but not for long. Plus, right off the pier, you have North Beach, which could almost be its own pro, but we'll just run it all together with the pier since they're right next to one another. This is where you can go and enjoy the beach without having to go all the way down to Gulf Shores or Orange Beach, and you get to still relax and, you know, get to sit down, put your toes in the sand, and get to go in the water and see families just playing all day and splashing around in the water. But I will say, since it's not the Gulf, you know, of Mexico, you can definitely tell the difference.
Yeah, for me, it reminds me of like swimming in a lake because the water is brackish. So it's fun to do. Yeah, it's fun to do, but it's not like breathtaking like the white sandy beaches that you see in Gulf Shores and that emerald water down in, you know, the Gulf of Mexico. But that's just a short drive away, so you're okay.
When it rains, it kind of brings out the dirt and kind of makes it
funky color.
Yeah.
Another pro I want to mention is that Fairhope has a lot to offer, like local farmers markets and some amazing restaurants. It's also a hub for art and culture. Right now, the 71st annual Fairhope Arts and Crafts Festival is actually happening. The city is loaded with visitors from literally all over the country. Like tens of thousands of people are here right now. It's really awesome.
You've also got a few craft breweries like Ferris by the Bay, Fairhope Brewery, and Tongue and Groove if you want the best cocktails in town.
Yeah, and if you're not too tipsy from drinking all of that delicious fresh brewed beer, you can enjoy some fishing right off the pier or get a boat slip right at a marina and you can boat and fish year round.
Speaking of year round, the number one pro for me has to be by far the weather. And I know you've heard this before, especially if you watch any of our videos, but it's true, right? People call me and they'll say, being from Chicago, what is the biggest difference between living in Illinois and Alabama? And I don't know where to start. There's a ton, but I tell everyone the same exact thing. You don't have to shovel sunshine, and Lower Alabama gets over 220 days of sun each and every single year.
And to me, that's enough. We also get a lot of rainfall, but it keeps everything like vibrant, green, and in bloom. But most importantly, the golf courses here stay nice and plush, which if y'all watch us enough, you know that we need that so that I can continue to whoop Tony when we go hit the links. It's true.
No.
I do. All the time. Yes.
So if you get seasonal depression from those gray, like Jessica's hair over
You
here,
did not just go there.
I'm not all Robbie.
dark, gloomy, cold days, then you can trade it in for paradise and, you know, come here where you can get this nice sunny days. And instead of those cold days, you can trade it in for paradise where you can just go and whoop your loved one on the course.
Oh, babe, I don't want you to have seasonal depression.
Oh, I wasn't talking about me, babe. But just know, if you lose like this one does, it's gonna be a long season because we have a long time before we have to think about the cold.
That's it. Next time we go golfing, I'm vlogging our entire day on the course.
Please, do
Oh,
it.
I'm going to.
And please, I wanna show our viewers how beautiful and sunny it is 99.9% of the
And they
time.
can see you lose.
And if you can live with high 80, low 90s, midsummer, with winters being around 60 degrees, you might want to call Fairhope your home.
That's one thing that we can definitely agree on. That and the fact that there's endless things to do here in Fairhope.
Yeah, next pro being you can hunt, fish, kayak, bike.
Shop amazing clothing boutiques, walk around downtown and check out the thriving and creative art community. Eat at all the local restaurants that will leave you with memorable meal experiences for sure. You can visit all of the independently owned coffee shops. You can check out local nurseries and just support local because that's what we do here in Fairhope.
Yeah, you'll notice we don't have many big box stores, and for good reason. We like to support our local mom and pop shops here in town because it strengthens the local economy, but also because you help create more jobs for friends, family, or neighbors, and that's how you get to know and see each other around town. It's really a great feeling knowing your dollar is going towards your neighbors or kids' football or cheerleading season.
Which brings me into the next pro. Our small, beautiful little city of Fairhope is so peaceful and the people are truly amazing. We've lived in a lot of different places over the years, and honestly, nothing has ever been even remotely close to what we have here. The people here are kind and polite. In fact, just yesterday, this lady stopped me while I was walking the baby and she asked about him, and then she went on to talk about how she remembered when she didn't shower until 7 o'clock at night because she was running around town doing everything with her kids and her toddlers, and she had a newborn, and just talking about life and sharing her experiences with me. And she didn't have to do that, but she genuinely like just wanted to chit chat and like have that connection, and it's just refreshing to be around people that just are okay with stopping and talking to you.
Yeah, she was super sweet. And back in Chicago, someone would push us out of the way with the baby just to get where they were going and not think twice about it, let alone something like that. And that's just this one time in our story. I mean, if we wanted to talk about all of them, there would be a story 8 hours long on all the times that, you know, people were friendly to us here. That's one of my favorite things about being here.
All right, well, now let's jump into cons. We know nowhere is truly perfect for everyone. Everybody is different, and it's possible Fairhope might not be what someone's looking for. So if you're looking for a, say, busy metro area where you can jump on the L to get where you're going, then this is probably not going to be the spot for you.
Yeah, we take our time here, and so does everybody else. No one's in a hurry for anything. And that quote that you wanted for your kitchen yesterday, give it a week or maybe even 2, because no one is go down here in Lower Alabama. And all right, so now that we got through all the pretty stuff, you know, the sunshine and butterflies and rainbows and all the things that everyone loves the most, we need to get into some of the things that aren't so great about Fairhope. You know, a lot of things that you can kind of live without. And the first thing that I'm gonna start talking about is the bugs, because I'm telling you right now, I was not prepared for some of these little bastards like the fire ants when while I'm walking around in my sandals outside, or the termites that have to be serviced every single year. And full disclosure, you should have this done by a licensed company, so when you do sell one day, you can show that this was done and have 0 issues.
And Tony says this because it's common to have termites here, so when buying a house, asking for a termite bond that's transferable is the norm. And oh yeah, if you get bit by a fire ant, bless your heart.
Ow, 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 oh! I can't, I gotta stop. Ah, my hands are on fire right now.
It's gonna burn like hell, and then it's gonna itch for 2 straight weeks. And I know that from experience. When it happened to me this past summer, I called Arrow exterminators. They came out to the house the next day and treated our entire front yard, and I haven't seen them again since. They're here, so we're probably gonna have to get treated again, but it's just a part of life living down here.
And we do have mosquitoes and snakes and alligators and no-see-ums and even palmetto bugs.
You mean roaches? They're cockroaches.
Whatever you want to call them.
Nope, that's what they are. Let's call them what they are. They're cockroaches. And we have them here, but they're here because of the trees and the climate, and this is like their home. It's not like up north where if you had cockroaches in your house is basically filthy, because you don't see cockroaches up north unless like you live in squalor. So it's different here, which took me a minute to accept, but I do get it, and living here is still totally worth it, even with the palmetto bugs.
Next is the wet, rainy season. Yes, it rains here, and yes, it may seem like a lot, but it comes down fast and with a purpose. Then next thing you know, it's sunny and humid again, and you can go and enjoy life.
Yeah, you can just pick right up where you left off. A lot of people say they don't like our summers, but I really can't tell, because I always see everyone outside soaking up the sun. Their kids are running around. They're eating on outdoor patios at restaurants, going to the beach, walking around downtown, shopping, and just out and about in general.
Yeah, but the one thing I always thought was weird is that even though we get a ton of rain, I'd say 75% of homes don't have gutters around their houses. And I don't know, I feel like that's weird. Doesn't that seem weird to you?
Yeah, it is. Up north, everyone has gutters, and we didn't get anything close to the amount of rain that we get down here. So we thought that was sort of crazy to not have gutters to like direct all of this heavy rainfall away from the house, but it is more common than not to see houses with no gutters at all.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's odd.
Yeah.
Another con to some may be that we don't have public transportation. So if you want to jump on a train or a subway to get to where you need, then Fairhope is definitely not going to be your place.
Yeah, I feel like this is a given, but we have to throw it out there. And if you'll miss those city rats, then you definitely don't want to be here.
This makes a really good point though, but you know what's worse than that? Hurricanes. And with all that rain and subtropical weather we get, that's what comes with it. Yeah. Hurricanes.
It sure does, y'all, but I feel like we're on the luckier spectrum of the hurricane pole compared to everyone else. We're not on a peninsula or hanging off into the water remotely. If anything, the bay is surrounded by land, which is the exact opposite.
Okay, I get what you're saying here. It looks like you can pick up Florida and kind of place it like inside of the bay, like a puzzle.
Yeah,
almost.
Exactly. Then it would be all land, and it's just different. But we're here to tell you all the cons, so I'm going to be real and tell you that if you buy a home in the bay or remotely close to it, then your taxes are probably going to be a little bit higher.
And your homeowner's insurance is definitely going to cost you a little bit more with the hurricane winds and the water that could come through with that.
Right, but honestly, a lot of our clients call and ask about the flood insurance more than anything, and I feel like that's not the killer unless you're on the bay, a floodplain, or a river or something, but otherwise you're not going to be affected by flood insurance. Another con to some is that you won't find big box stores in Fairhope. Some people like the convenience of having a Walmart or a Target or a Costco right in town.
A Home Depot.
Yeah, Lowe's. So here you're going to have to travel to surrounding towns for all of that.
And I don't think it'll ever be here. Even with the city growing rapidly, this town pretty much keeps it a point to make Fairhope as local as possible and doesn't allow many chains or like, you know, mega stores. Okay,
one final con is that the city might seem like a ghost town on Sundays. Your favorite restaurant will likely be closed along with the entire downtown area. This is because Fairhope is still pretty traditional and considers Sundays to be a day of rest and relaxation. A lot of people down here you're gonna find are super, super religious, and Sunday is a holy day. So for dining or shopping or any other errands you might be wanting to run on a Sunday, you're gonna have to venture out to surrounding towns again.
A day of worship.
Yeah, for sure. Some might find this to be an inconvenience, but I personally find it to be very refreshing.
Okay, y'all, those are the pros and cons about moving to Fairhope. Now, with all that said, if you're thinking about making the move to the area, make sure you reach out to the #1 relocation team in all of Lower Alabama.
Yeah, and as always, our phone number and email is right there on the screen, so feel free to reach out to us. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Bye, y'all.